A gay guy, straight girl. And, hey, let me go ahead and reintroduce myself. I know this is our second show. I'm so excited for all of the viewers who are watching today. I mean, again, this is just, a blessing in disguise that just happened to us and, being able to do our show again. Mm-hmm. So, again, my name is Mr. JoJo. To my left is my host,
Danny DIB.
All right, and we have a special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, special guest.
Hi, everyone. I'm Echo.
All right, Echo, and where are you from?
Hi, Echo.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans. Echo, just get a little bit closer to your mic just so we can hear you.
Hello,
there you go. Only because you're such a sweet talker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's one of those like Ashanti where
right
I
now,
sound, Ashanti can't sing, but she could whisper, you know what I mean? So when she whispers and she sings, it just sounds good. That's in my opinion. Ashanti sounds a good whisper. She cannot sing.
She can sing.
Anyways, all right. So no,
and she's faking it, by the way, because she ain't that silent.
Right,
she's shy.
I know she sure is faking it because she is not that silent.
We know her too well.
We know her very well. This is a trio right here, guys. Just to kind of inform you guys, if I ever say I'm hanging with my trios, or I got caught up with my trios, or me and my trios turned up, this is my trio right here.
This is the crew getting in trouble.
This is the crew really getting in trouble. Yep. Well, I want to give some special shout outs. I definitely want to shout out our callers from last week. I want to shout out. Got the name mistaken. It wasn't Jack. Sorry, guys. So it was actually Zach who was giving us a call last week. I want to give it a shout out to Zach, and to our two other Lizette, and then I forgot the young lady who also Ashley or Monica.
She was great. She called
was great.
In with some great.
Again, we thank you for those callers. We had a fantastic opening show, and we want to just keep that going. Any shout outs that you have for today?
I do. I'm gonna repeat the same thing as last week. My brother, my cousin, my best friend from New York are coming in tomorrow.
They're coming in. New York. They're coming in from New York.
And then I also want to thank my best friend here
for
coming in. So I'm going to shout out her here.
Thank you for almost not making it to the show, but I'm so happy that you're here right now.
She was late.
She was supposed to be at my house at 7, and she showed up right here at 8:10. I'm like, what the hell?
I work, people.
We all work, honey. Ask her what time she got off, and then you really figure two things out.
3 o'clock.
She got off like 3 p.m., and I got off at 6, and I still made it on time.
Exactly.
But no, really, thank you for, coming in today. Any special shout outs you want to give out before we continue?
I would just like to say hi to everyone who's listening to Joe's show. We appreciate you. I'm so happy he's doing this again. I know he's so excited. And Danielle is so excited. So hi, everyone.
Thank you. Awesome. Hi, everyone. But no, today's topic, nice and juicy.
It is.
Nice
it's pretty
and
juicy.
Everyone has dealt with this either one point in their life or another. Yep. You know what I mean? So let's just jump right into it. Today's topic is what? Infidelity. Who has... I love your face.
Right.
We've all dealt with it.
I know nothing about the subject. I don't know why I'm here today.
We've all dealt with it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, people say, well, what is infidelity? You know what I mean? Plain and simple. I mean, Daniela,
I call it to me, it's the umbrella for everything that sabotages a relationship.
Everything that sabotages, whether it be what, cheating?
Because it could be just like a one-night stand kind of cheating, or it could be a full-on affair.
It could be a full-on affair. It could be simple.
Or one end or the other.
I agree. Let me go ahead and give you the actual definition. It says that it's a subjective feeling that one's partner has violated a set of rules or relationship norms, and that this violation results in the feeling of sexual jealousy or rivalry.
Right.
I agree. Yeah. I would have not defined that any different. You know what I mean? Now, of course, there's that difference. That's, infidelity. Mm-hmm. But, you have to break it down like you just said. There's cheating. There's an affair. What would you consider cheating?
Well, there's so many different, aspects to it. Right. So, like I said, it can range anywhere from a one-night stand, wham, bam, long thank term. You, ma'am, to a 2-year affair, a double life situation.
That's true.
So, there's, that's the extremes to it. and there's everything in between.
So there's really no thin line. It's either you're cheating or you're having an affair.
Right. You're
emotional, physical, and then there's different types of cheating. Right. Danielle and I were actually talking about this yesterday, and I was saying...
Oh, so you're getting prepared for the show. Nice.
No, it's just general talk.
General talk.
Nice.
This was going to be a subject.
I'm telling you, like I said, this happens every day.
This comes up all the time.
All the time.
And I would like your opinion on this. I was telling her that I feel like there's two types of cheating.
Right.
There's cheating you do because you feel unimportant or you feel a lack of something from your partner, or there's cheating out of spite and out of anger. And is one type of cheating different than the other, better or worse, or is it all the same to you?
Cheating is cheating. You know, that kind of goes on to, you know, that to me, cheating is cheating.
Right.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it's a negative vibe. It's a negative feel. It's going
to add a negative reputation. It's going to add a negative feeling to your relationship.
Exactly.
It's always going to hurt it.
It's always going to hurt. It's always going to hinder.
Be beneficial.
It's going to hinder. Sure. But now the question is, like you just said, what intensity of cheating are there? You know what I mean? Like, people can do this, people can do that. So I definitely agree with you, and I understand where there are different intensities.
Where that comes in is more as like, what are you willing to forgive?
Absolutely. And you know, people forgive cheating on a different level.
On different level, right? Based on what kind of cheating was done, what was the motive behind it, is going to change how you forgive it or how long it takes you to get over it.
So straight to the juice. Have you ever been cheated on?
I have been cheated on, yes.
Have you ever been cheating on? Of course. And that's the thing, like I said, we all have been cheating on.
I had to pause with that one. I was like, yes.
You know what I mean? We all know it. Whether we want to speak about it or not, we all know it. And again, just to kind of, you know, remind you guys, we're always taking advice. We're always taking your questions, or we're always taking your opinion. Please give us a call, 813-639-8255. You know, we are going to only start taking calls during certain times, but for now, we are free will on taking, like free ball, free willing, whatever they say. I'm just taking any calls we would.
I don't know.
I don't know what I got on my mind, honey. I got something on my mind. This whole cheating thing, I got me a little excited. I want to go cheat with my boyfriend out there. You know what I mean? Like, do you got a bath me?
You want to cheat on your show right now?
I want to cheat on the show. I want to cheat on these girls because these are my hosts right now. But like, you know, like we said, we've all cheated. What's your personal view? When you were actually cheated on, how did it feel?
For me, I wasn't
married. Asking you, I was asking her. Well, okay. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Please. This is how he treats me all the time.
This is love.
It's abusive. It's abusive relationship.
It's that thin line between love and hate.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk anyway.
But it should be love and abuse.
How about that?
Oh, of course, I want you to talk.
I'm like your wife.
Right.
Not really.
Right.
Okay.
Remember, like I said last week, if you fall in love with me, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to punch you. Those were the exact words. And one of my coworkers loved it. That was one of the words. She sent me an email. She goes, Joe, I love your quote. I said, what was my quote? She goes, if you fall in love with me, I'm going to punch you. I cracked up. I guess what's going to be, I have to make that my official quote.
That's the new line.
That's my quote. If you fall in love with me, I'm going to punch you.
I'll let her speak, though.
Yeah. How about you let me?
I will.
How about that? Okay.
So what happened? No,
I was in a marriage.
Right.
And I was cheated on. And for me, it was absolutely 100% devastating.
Right.
Because, I met my husband at a very, very young age. Right. I was 14 years old, barely a child. I probably shouldn't have been in a relationship.
What happens? High school love, young love, puppy love.
Yeah, it was that kind of relationship. Right. So the moment I found out about it, it was completely devastating. It broke my heart. I mean, have you ever cried to the point where there's no sound coming out of your mouth?
It's silent cry.
It's that bent over crying, and there's no sound coming out.
Or you cry so much you have no more tears.
And then 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes later, you're like, like you let it go, right? But there's no tears at that point.
Right.
Like you just let it go.
I'm glad I can laugh about it now.
Of course.
Back then, that's how it affected me.
Right.
It was devastating. It affected me on a day-to-day basis. Affected my mind. How I worked, how I thought, it affected
everything you did.
Everything I did. Everything from how the way I ate to how I reacted, how I behaved with other people.
So you would say it did hinder you personally.
It hindered me as a person. It hindered the relationship, absolutely, because there was no trust.
In what way?
And gaining that trust back was like climbing a hill that just kept on growing.
So,
it just doesn't come.
It just doesn't. Right.
So did you actually continue the relationship after cheating? Was there forgiveness?
Yes, because you're afraid to be alone, and you're afraid to let go, and you're afraid to be by yourself, and there's that fear. Fear will make you stay in situations that are not good for you.
Right.
But they'll make you stay there.
Hey, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And have you ever been cheated on?
I have been cheated on, and it's always, of course, like y'all said, devastating.
Right.
Who wants to go through that emotional turmoil? You have so many questions. You start to doubt yourself and your self-worth, and you know,
but why did they cheat? Of course,
exactly. It's why did they cheat? Is it me? Am I not good enough?
Right, and it could have been completely on the other person's side, but for you,
that's what I was saying
because
yesterday. Because I feel like there's two types of cheating. There's the cheating where the person is just immature and selfish, and no one is ever going to be good enough for them. They just want more,
attention.
You and you and you and you,
like a sexual addict.
Like a sexual addict. They're just a selfish and immature individual, and no one. You could be the hottest thing in the world. They want another person. Absolutely. They're just never going to be satisfied. And then there's the cheaters that cheat because they feel hurt, because they feel like they're not getting enough. Because exactly. So there's two different, and that's what I was saying. Is one better than another? No, you always feel pain when someone cheats.
That's the thing. It's like people try to justify their cheating. You know what I mean?
Course.
People always try to make up an excuse. You know, oh well, it was because baby you did this. You know what I mean? Or baby, if you would have never done this, I would have never done that.
Made me feel like I was nothing if I didn't.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Regardless on what way you want to take it. Yeah, don't get me. If in my opinion, when it comes down to the end of the day, if you feel like you were so hurt by it at that point, let it go.
Exactly.
Let it go. And then at the end of the day, because if you do decide to continue that relationship, you can honestly say, I didn't cheat on you. Yeah, I may have done something with someone else, but officially we separated. I know friends who did do that.
No, and I think
would rather let it go
that's the
and
way
go
to
back
go about
to it later.
We have a call coming in.
Yeah, and we do have a call. So let's go ahead and take our caller. Caller, what's your name and where you're calling from?
Angel.
Hi, Angel. Hi, Angel. And what's your name, Angel? I'm sorry, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Baltimore.
Hey, Angel from Baltimore, all over the U.S. All right, Angel. And right now, we're talking about cheating and infidelity. Is that something you've ever experienced for yourself?
Well, it's something I've been not on the cheating side of, but I have possibly been considering it.
So you mean you've been considering cheating on this person?
I'm so excited to hear the reason.
This excites me.
I'm very excited. I want to know
and
why.
This is, I had a big topic, a big conversation with my host, Danny D, in regards to, are there actually females out there who are willing to admit it and actually talk about it? And I know there are, but talk about it.
Within each other, we
do. Each other. That's the thing. Let me reiterate. Within each other, they do. But are they openly willing to discuss it? And of course, it's harder to do it when you see the person.
It's becoming more prevalent, but it's
we want to hear this. What's on your mind about this?
Well, personally, I feel like sex is a medical condition. Like if I don't have it, I don't feel right. So especially concentration, it helps me focus. And so right now I'm in a situation where I haven't had sex with my husband it goes every couple of months.
Wow, couple months. Okay. There's a need there. Is there a reason? If you don't mind me asking, let me know if I'm getting too personal. Is there a reason why you haven't, gone about in 2 months? Right.
He's currently overseas.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Are you a military wife?
I am.
Oh, see, I put that together real quick. All right.
Overseas.
I know. Well, yeah. Anybody? Hey, there's a lot of different companies overseas.
That's true.
It just kind of. I don't know. I just put that together. Okay. But anyways, so overseas, you're needing it more. Would you say you're kind of leaning towards that addict, or would you just say you just need it?
I would say I just need it.
Right.
Sometimes being by yourself isn't the same. It's not the same physical energy, exertion, exercise. It's completely different.
Now,
so the reason that I would cheat is only for the sexual.
It's
the physical part of it. Now,
satisfaction that you're seeking.
Now, my question is, you say cheating. Do you think do you actually feel you might jump to an affair? Because if you were to find a person you're comfortable with, would you actually do it more than one time and for longer than a week?
And that's something I haven't even really been able to think about.
Right.
My question is emotional.
Before, and so I'm afraid to even cross that border.
Like she said, that's my next question is, how would you feel emotional when you do it and after when you actually have to confront your husband and not confront him about the situation?
No, that's women
are so emotional.
But talk to him
when
he... Of course, but what I mean is, okay, I don't mean you're going to tell him. You're going to... If you do this, I'm most likely guaranteed, unless you divorce, you're going to die with this. So my question is, how are you going to feel emotionally if you do it? At that moment, you might not think about it. But when your husband comes back,
it all seeps in.
All of a sudden, your husband's back. You're now intimate with your husband, but you may have done it with this guy maybe 3 days before this. So, how does that make you feel?
Oh, that would make me feel horrible.
Horrible.
Right. Well, let me ask this first. How long before your husband comes back?
And that's what we don't know. The longest would be November, but, I mean, it could be maybe the summer.
I just want you to think about one thing before you decide to do this. Turn the tables. If you were away and he was the one here and he needs it, he's a man, he probably needs it maybe a little more than you. How would you feel if he felt like he was going to go cheat on you because you weren't here? I want you to think about that. And I'm not trying to get sentimental here, but I just really, you're married. You're married.
Yeah, but see, and that's the only reason why, like, I am okay. Like, if you were okay with an open relationship for this, like, set time, I would totally do that. Right. But I don't think he would be okay with it. Well, and I wouldn't want to cheat because I would feel bad for him.
Right. Well, we don't know he won't
emotionally,
be okay.
I'm okay with it.
Right. Emotionally, so
you would be okay.
I mean, I'm okay with him. I wouldn't think it's wrong for him to be sleeping with someone else right now.
Right.
As long as it wasn't getting. Like,
but are you only thinking that way because of the way you feel right now?
Yeah.
And are you only thinking that way because it hasn't happened? I can tell you something. I felt the same way before it happened to me. I felt like if he went and cheated, I'd be fine with it. You know, it's just sex, and he needs it, and I need sex. But let me tell you something. After it happens, and you're confronted with a woman's face and a woman's name, it's going to hit you a lot harder, and it's going to hit him a lot harder. Yeah. So just be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, the whole thing, and the reason why I even, you know, connected military wife is, you know, I have multiple friends who are in the military, and I have multiple friends who are military wife, and they felt in the same circumstances as you in regards to just making it about sex. They wouldn't consider it an affair because they didn't have sex with the same person, nor consistent. But ultimately, you know, my whole thing is you have to look at the long run. Is it going to be worth it? If for any reason, if this was to come out, what would, you know, like, how would you deal with it? You have to
know your consequences.
You have to know, a lot of people think, a lot of people do things because of how they feel right now without knowing how it's going to feel later.
Think about the effects of that.
My whole thing is, you know, hey, at the end of the day, it's real. It's not unreal. So, hey, if you choose to or choose not to, ultimately that's your decision. But you have to just look at the long run. Is it going to be worth it? If for any reason, let's say, for example, he was to find out and your relationship was to end that day, was it worth it? Like, you know, can you actually sit back and say, you know what, at the end of the day, it was okay. Like, it was worth it.
And there are some relationships out there. There are some relationships out there that are...
It's fine.
Exactly.
It is fine. But ultimately, you know...
But for the most part, you know, if you have a great relationship, if you...
agree.
Does this sound crazy that I almost want her to talk to him about it? I almost want her to ask him, hey, I'm a woman, you're away, and I'm really, you know, I need a man, and you know, sex is a normal part of life. And how do you feel about it?
I did try that.
Okay.
You tried. Okay.
Well, I didn't, like, I wanted to, like, think about what I was going to say and everything, but when it came out, like, I was just so, like, frustrated.
Right. It came off wrong.
So I basically said, like, you know, it's very hard to not cheat.
Right. It is. You know, I guess you have to, you know, honestly, we had this discussion last week about open relationships. You know what I mean? Bring it, you know, that's the whole thing where, you know, you're in a marriage situation, so it's kind of late
when
already.
It comes to that.
But when it comes to bringing other people in a relationship, and I don't mean late, you can always bring somebody else in a relationship, but when it comes to, you know, involving a third party, whether it be single or together, I mean, if it's an agreement, you know what I mean? Be open and talk about it. The last thing you want to do is, if you do want to bring it up, be careful. Because you don't want to bring it up in the sense that you don't want him to feel that if he says no, it's uncomfortable, it's either already happened or you're still going to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to start getting the heat for something you haven't done yet.
You want him to feel secure enough to know that if it doesn't happen or if he doesn't agree, it's not going to happen. But, you know what I mean? Kind of, you have to bring it up in a smart way, because I don't mean to put it out that way, but I can guarantee there's a lot of guys out here who wish their wives brought it up more, because they would probably wish that they would be able to do something with somebody openly. You know what I mean? So
what is the right way to bring it up? How do I ask? Can we have an open relationship or set it on?
And that's it. You know what? That's what you want to say, is you have to be able to bring it up. You know, express to each other how important it is that you guys do love your relationship, but how important it is for you guys to be satisfied sexually. Because at the end of the day, that is an important part in the relationship, whether you're doing it with your partner or
Definitely not. Bring up that it's sexual and not emotional. Because when you hurt him emotionally, it's just like a woman being hurt emotionally. That is gonna be worse than anything. That's gonna drag out. That's when people cheat. look, cheating's bad and we all hate it.
Right.
But it's not really, if you really
think
it's not the cheating, it's not the sexual. It's the emotional. It's the emotional pain that you feel. So it's the emotional side. So make sure that you don't hurt him emotionally. You explain to him that it's just physical.
I don't want to hurt him is my number one, and number two, I believe in karma. So,
right, exactly. That's why I said be careful. Things come back. Things come, whether you like it or not, they do come back. Absolutely. So, hey, my recommendation would be, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Angel, keep listening to the show. We're going to keep talking about this topic. Trust me, it's not going nowhere. We're going to be talking about this for the next 35 minutes, and I bet you're going to definitely grab something that is going to be like, bam, that's going to be it. And if not, Angel, guaranteed, go to my website. My email will be on there. We'll be posting stuff about the show as well, and we'll be more than happy to keep talking about it, okay?
All right. Thanks for saying keep listening.
All right, Angel, and again, thank you so much for calling us. Have a good night. Well, again, that kind of goes with it's cheating is reality. You know what I mean? It's not. It's
happened to everyone.
It will be oblivious to put it in the back burner. You know what I mean? That's why and even in my relationship, that's the good thing is we talk about it. We don't talk about cheating. Like, oh yeah, babe, how do you feel like if I was to cheat? Because then that would be setting up the relationship to cheat.
Right.
We're not oblivious. We're not ignorant to it. You know what I mean? We know how we're gonna feel if we cheat. We may even know how we're gonna act and even do because we know we want to hold on to each other. But you have to just know how it makes the other person feel.
Exactly. And you have to care. You have to care. It's about caring about the other person and being sympathetic to their needs. When you're a selfish human, you will go ahead and cheat, and it's going to be nothing because you're thinking about yourself.
The thing, it belittles people. To me, when I was
a lot about the other person.
It does, and that's the thing. Even when people cheat, and they feel like then they gotta lie. You know what I mean? Sometimes honesty
I think
helps.
That's the worst part about it. It's the sneaking around. It's the going behind your back. Because at the end of the day, you're always going to make it worse than what it really was. In your head, if you tell me afterwards, after I catch you, after you've been caught, and you tell me that this, and this happened, the fact that you lied about it, that you sneaked behind my back, and you're conniving, I'm going to think the absolute worst about it.
Because at that point, I feel like you've belittled me in our relationship.
It's the respect. I think that when you lie, when someone says, did you cheat? What are you doing? And no. You have no respect for me at this point. You're willing to lie to my face.
What do most people do? Let's be real. What line comes out of your mouth? You're crazy.
What are you talking about? They blame it on the other person.
You're crazy. What are you talking about?
You know what? And it does happen a lot. But we do have another caller. So let's go ahead and take this second call. Caller, you're calling Gay Guy Straight Girl. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Shakoya, and I'm calling from Palaka, Florida.
All right, Shakoya from Palaka, Florida. How are you?
Hey, everybody.
How are you? All right, Shakoya. Well, we're having an interesting topic today. It's about infidelity and cheating. Is that something you've ever experienced for yourself?
Hell yeah.
All right. Now, we all have, you know what I mean? But I want to, this is the next question I'm going to ask. So I'm going to start it out with you. Before we were talking about cheating, have you been cheated on? But I want to ask you, because I'm going to ask my co-host here today, have you ever cheated on anybody? Have you ever been the cheater?
Oh, yes, I have.
How did it make you feel? Did you have to justify
it? Actually, it's not a great feeling because, what goes around comes around.
Right.
But it really wasn't a serious relationship at the point of time, but
so do you feel like not a good feeling. Got it. So you feel like if it wasn't that serious, it's okay?
If it's not that serious, it's okay. But if
then
it's
serious, not cheating.
There's no need to play with nobody's heart.
Right. So then, when you say it wasn't that serious, how serious was it? Because what would you consider cheating?
Did you label it? Did you call it a relationship and say, hey, you don't mess around with anyone and I don't mess around with anyone?
How exclusive was it?
Well, basically, it wasn't like I wasn't intimate with the other person, but I was just talking, so it really wasn't that serious.
So more of
and I wasn't intimate
cheating.
with none of them.
It's still cheating,
though. That'll hurt the other person.
Defines cheating.
Everyone defies, things differently as
sounds
cheating,
like
and that's a good thing. It does sound like you did justify.
Yeah, you can turn it around and say, "Would I be hurt?" Then yes,
and that's the thing is people look different ways in justifying. Justifying doesn't just mean I'm going to explain why I cheated. Right. Justifying means why you even did it, because your reasons were, we weren't that serious. It wasn't that serious. We weren't that long. So those are excuses. So now I'm not going to feel as bad. And of course, obviously you said X, so that was previous, but it just doesn't make you feel as bad. That's another reason why it's just people feel okay to cheat. Now, how did it feel when you were cheated on?
I felt very bad. You know, I want to blow some shit up, but you know, at the same time,
yeah, I want to
burn someone's clothes, throw it out the window.
I want to break somebody's car window. I get it.
Scratch just like I say, niggas are just like buses. They run every 15 minutes, so that's why it wasn't hesitation.
There you go. Hey, I want to ride your bus line. Let me know where your bus line you ride on, so I can get on there. But no, thank you so much, Shakori, for giving us a call today. Make sure you keep tuning on, and I know there'll probably be something that you'll gain from today's show, okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling.
Thank you for calling
us.
Have a blessed night.
You too.
Thank you.
You too.
All right.
And it's true. You know, let's kind of feed off of that. Have you ever cheated on anybody?
I have not, honestly. What I've done is that I've kept it like we're just talking.
Right.
You know, we're just dating. It's not serious yet.
Okay.
And
so it's not serious to you.
I haven't.
Have the other guys
I don't
known it
talk
wasn't that
about
serious?
who else I'm talking to.
Right.
So, and I know that if they knew that I was talking to someone else, that it'd upset them. But at the same time,
you weren't cheating.
It wasn't cheating. Right. We're not exclusive.
So you have not cheated officially in a relationship.
Right.
Awesome.
Exactly.
And yourself?
And the reason why I've done it, I mean, sorry, but
no, please.
The reason why I've done it is because of knowing what it's like to be on the side of it.
It is.
So.
It hurts. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
Have you ever cheated?
I have. And that's why I talk about the difference of cheating is because when I was younger, I was that type of person who I was just selfish and immature.
Right.
And one person was just never going to be enough. If I was going out with someone and I went out and there was someone else that I was interested in.
It was quick.
Whatever.
Hey,
you want to be with me? I'm going to be with you. And I cheat. As I got older, I changed my cheating reason into I'm unsatisfied, I'm unhappy, I don't feel like they're making me feel good enough, they don't love me enough, they're not doing the things that I need to be happy, and I cheated
kind of in retaliation.
Out of retaliation, of just feeling sorry for myself.
Would you say that was the reason, the only reason why you cheated? Because you were cheated on already?
I don't think happy people cheat.
No, I don't think that I cheated because the other person cheated. I think that I cheated when I felt like they didn't care enough. They weren't respecting me enough when I was unhappy.
And that's what it comes down to. If you're truly happy, if you're truly in love, do you really go out there and cheat?
Some people, I mean, it's
again, if you're immature and you just need more, you do. But if you're mature and you're being fed,
I'm loving her candid and like honesty right now about having been the cheater.
Of course.
Before, and I'm straight up no BS. Like I'm not trying to hold back on saying that I've never cheated on anyone. I really have never cheated on anyone.
Oh, and I believe it.
But the reason for me, the reason for me has been, you know, when it depends on your circumstances. I was a kid.
Right.
When I got into my relationship, it turned into a marriage. It turned into a 15-year relationship, you know, so that's all I knew. And, you know,
you got so hurt by it,
and I was
so hurt by it.
I was devastated by it.
We all learn cheating at a young age.
It depends on your experiences,
we all learn cheating at a young age.
But had I had the normal teenage, you know, life, let's put it that way, college life, and all those other things, who knows how it would have been?
Absolutely. But, I mean, I'm on the other side. I cheat. I mean, let me reiterate. I'm sorry. I don't cheat. I cheated.
You cheated.
You know, oh my God. Excuse me.
Let's ask you, Joe. Have you been a cheater?
You know what I mean? But I'm not I'm doing my justification. You know, I cheated because I got cheated on. Right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that was the thing.
Retaliation.
Yes. I mean, I've done it too.
So much that I'm like, well, you know what? I want to feel the same thing. I want. And this was crazy. My intention was I wanted them to feel the same way I did.
Yes, of course.
But it never came out. I never told them. They never found out.
But in your mind,
in my mind, I knew.
And that's what I did too.
So
I never thrown it in anyone's face, but in your mind, you know, like you've cheated on me, you hurt me, and now I'm going to go out and hurt you. And even if you don't know it, I know it.
Right. This is the thing, though. It's like that's the thing is when I did it, and this is then when I started feeling bad. I did it. And then I'm like, well, who? Now that I'm not telling anybody, who am I proving it to?
Right.
You know, I'm only now, and this is why the relationship didn't last.
Yeah,
because I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
And guilt.
Yeah, and guilt. That's exactly what happened. I put the relationship up because I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Right. I'm not able to move forward of what happened.
And it's resentment. So you know, when that happens, it's resentment. And
I agree.
Resentment's never going to lead to anything positive.
No, it's not. I completely agree. You know, and to even talk about, you know, like some statistics that we've gone on, you know, to discuss even like.
I think they're very interesting, actually.
They're very interesting. To kind of even talk about some, you know, to my favor is, you know, gay, straight relationship, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Everybody cheats. You know what I mean? But it's really funny to know that gay and lesbian...
And let's just admit that these statistics are all based on what a whole bunch of people admitted to.
Survey. You know what I mean?
Oh, it could probably be a lot more.
You know what?
If they would admit to it.
This is really crazy.
This is just what people admitted to.
After we give her statistics, she's going to say one, and I'm going to rebuttal on it. Because there was one statistic that I know she said that I'm like, and this is why. But to kind of go over even one that was interesting is gay and lesbian relationships actually have a higher, they say have a higher probability. Of infidelity, gay males especially. And my opinion to that was, I think we're just more open to talk about it. Not even open, but I'm more honest. We're more honest. We're more open. We're more honest. We'll, I'll come back and say, you know what? I cheated on you. I'd rather not do this no more. So I'm going to move forward. And to me, versus a straight relationship would be like,
there's more
a female
lies,
would just break up.
More lies in
a female will break up. You'll never know why.
Right.
She'll tell you it's all you. And then at the end of the day, she was the one that feels bad because she cheated on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like that's the reason why more men admit to it than women actually admit to it.
Women talk a lot.
Because it's just a matter of who's willing to admit more.
Right, that's it. Women talk a lot, in my opinion.
More gay men are willing to admit it, but more men are willing to admit it than women.
Exactly. So, that's the thing. Like, women talk. Girls talk, but they talk to each other.
Right.
Guys talk and just can't stop running their mouth. You know what I mean? That's the issue is guys can't keep a secret.
Right.
Females... Hell yeah, they can die with a secret. You know what I mean? Right. But and there's a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Like we have 57% of men admit to cheating in any relationship they've ever had. But then here's the shocker. 54% of women admit to the very same thing.
That's it.
It's not very much of a gap of a difference.
But 3% is a lot when you're doing that to a lot of people. You know
I think the reasons probably are very different though.
Oh, right.
Oh, of course. They're very, very different. I mean, even to say, like, I mean, one thing that we found very interesting is an average affair, guys. An affair, when we were talking about affair, lasts 2 years.
Average affair, 2 years.
Really?
That's straight up living a double life.
Yes,
that's a double life.
That's a double life,
How can you even do that?
Yeah.
Like, well... Let me. You could do it. I know people, and it's not me. I know friends.
That makes me sad because for someone to have an affair or cheat for 2 years says a lot about a person. It's just like, where's your guilt factor, people? Where?
Well, and that's the thing. If they have that guilt factor for 2 years, what's your quality of life for those 2 years?
That's the thing.
Right. You know what I mean?
I guess selfishness is really kicking in these days.
Selfishness is key. If they're able to hold on to it for 2 years, they're selfish.
Completely.
Guilty is probably not even an issue.
Right.
They're probably one of those same characteristics of people that can kill. I'm not trying to compare them, but they have probably the same characteristics that can kill someone and won't feel guilty about it.
Yes, because that's 2 years. It's just a super hurtful thing. You cannot be guilt ridden if you're doing something for 2 years. You cannot have respect for the other person if you're doing something for 2 years. There's just a lot of lacking
and
there.
That's a long time.
And it's interesting to even know that 35% of men and women admit to cheating on their business trips. Of course.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
We
actually have another caller. So let's go ahead and take this call. Caller, thank you for calling Gay Guy Straight Girl. What's your name and where you're calling from? Thank you for calling, caller. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hello.
All right, we seem to have lost our caller. No problem. They'll probably give us a call right back.
Yes, hopefully.
So anyways, kind of to continue with that, there's so many things out here.
How about this? How about the likelihood of infidelity decreases the more religious you are as you age or if you're better educated?
Absolutely.
I like the contrast to that because there's so many statistics on how women cheat, how men cheat, what's an affair, what's not an affair, and all that stuff. But I like that there's also information out there on the chances of it decreasing as you age because you mature
and
hold relationships sacred.
Sacred. You respect.
Yes.
But that was key is I like when you said educate. Because you know what I mean? Within time, people do get educated. Because even the same study researched and found that the number of gay men who cheated on their partner actually dropped from 83% to 59%.
Right, that's a big drop.
I feel that's all about education.
Yeah.
Not just education on infidelity, not just education on,
just in general, on life,
on everything.
I feel like, I'm sorry, but, to kind of put it out there, sexually transmitted diseases, people are getting educated more on that.
It's like anything. Ignorant people are going to always make more mistakes. Knowledge is power in every single aspect of life.
And I think we do have our caller back. Caller, thank you for calling Gay Guy Straight Girl. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Gainesville.
Gainesville. All right, Gainesville. And what's your name again? I'm sorry.
What's my name?
Yes.
I'm just going to call you Gainesville. We're going to call you Gainesville. All right, Gainesville. Well, today's topic, Gainesville, is on infidelity, which I know is a hot topic. So let's, we're kind of talking about statistics now on, how many people do this and do that. Let's kind of get your opinion on infidelity. Is this something you've experienced yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Now, did you experience it on being cheated or cheated on?
Cheated on.
All right. And how did that make you feel?
Not wanted.
Not wanted. It didn't make you feel loved, did it?
Did it make me feel loved?
No, it did not make you feel loved.
Oh yeah.
Why is that? Why didn't it make you feel loved?
Because you're not spending the time with me at home like you're spending the time with the hoes out there on the street.
You don't feel like enough, do you?
Right.
You're not enough. If someone goes after someone else, you're just not enough.
That's how it makes you feel. Everything about yourself.
Not that you are not enough. Mm-hmm. That's not your problem. That's just
how it makes you feel.
That's their problem. Right. But that's how it makes you feel.
And I get that. What she said, that quality time. You rather spend that quality time with someone else versus your partner.
Right.
I agree.
I'm not enough.
And, and I'll ask you if you want to put it out there, Gainesville, because no one knows who you are anyways. Have you ever cheated on anybody?
Yes.
You have. And how did that make you feel?
Great. I felt comfort.
You felt comfortable about the other person.
Why did you cheat?
Yes.
Why did you cheat?
Yeah.
Because the same person cheated on me.
Yes.
All right.
Not that I was trying to be revenge.
So you did it.
I just felt better.
But that's still retaliation.
It's resentment.
Yeah,
you had resentment, and you decided that if you did that, you thought you might feel a little bit better.
Did it? And so it made you. Did it make you feel better in the long run, or just right there, like at that moment? Was it just temporary feel better, or was it a long run feel better?
Right.
Long run. Okay. So would you say you were cheating, or were you actually potentially having an affair?
Oh no, I'm not married. So I was cheating.
Well, no, I don't mean you don't have to be married to have an affair.
I can be carry on.
I'm committed with my partner. Right. If I decide to do something else with someone for over a week, I'm having an affair. So I mean, that's what I mean.
Because you're not just looking for
one night stand.
Exactly.
You're looking for comfort from someone else.
Comfort on a long basis, like a long-term basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for calling us tonight. Make sure you keep watching us, our show. We're going to be tuning for just maybe another 10 more minutes. But thank you for calling us, and make sure you keep tuning in every Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30.
Have a good night.
Good night.
You too. Thank you. But again, no, it's very true. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, just like, where she was going to, oh, well, we weren't married, so I didn't cheat. That's not what it's about. You know what I mean? Cheating is to any level. I can be committed to you as a friend and say you are my only friend in life. And if I go out and get another friend, I'm cheating on our friendship.
Even friends feel cheated on each other sometimes.
Of course. I mean, that's where that whole, oh my God, did you just get a new best friend? You know what I mean?
I think cheating should be considered a violation of trust.
Oh, big time.
When someone tells you something and you trust what they say and they go against it.
Of course.
You feel cheated.
Right. Violation of rules. We talked about it all the time. When you have just these kind of standard set rules and you violate it. Because there's all different types of cheating, whether it be like chatting with somebody else, you know what I mean? Social media. And that's the thing. We'll probably have to continue this topic another day too, because social media, people not even find each other.
From a long time ago,
a lot of people consider. How far?
Facebook's a killer, relationship killer.
How far is social media cheating? If I just reconnected with one of my ex-girlfriends or boyfriends, who I haven't talked with in 5 years. Would that be considered cheating if I'm actually communicating
For
with
me,
them?
it's that first initial conversation is cool.
Right.
You're like, you haven't seen each other in a long time. But if you keep it going.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you're like, hey, how are you? How's your day?
You start looking to them for emotional comfort.
Exactly.
I get it. It's true.
Exactly. If it continues.
If it can act, and not even that, because it depends on what you said continue, because I can continue talking to the person and I'm still not cheating.
Oh, if it's
you start flirting.
What the conversation is about.
It depends on what it grows into.
Right. But now what if you're, and this is key too. You can have all these social medias.
Or it could just be one time, but if you cross the line in that one conversation, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yeah. It takes two things: either for the other person to find it, or for you to tell the other person.
Oh, and I'll tell you straight up, on Facebook, I have had friends from the past,
right,
that have hit me up and been like, okay, you look great. You look hot.
Oh,
if I'm ever in Tampa, I'd love to come see you.
Oh, that happens all the time.
I'd love to come hang out with you. And they're at the same time posting about how much they love their wife and their babies and their kids and all that stuff. And then they're like, oh, we should freaking party and rage.
I'm like, no guilt.
No, it's even crazier how people, you just said it, like people feel social media, like, if they don't know, if they don't feel it, it's not cheating.
If they're not in front of your face, it's not cheating.
No,
okay.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Call it what you want to call it. Whether it be cheating, whether it be an affair. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
If you're crossing a line.
Not even, you're entertaining. You're entertaining someone else. You know what I mean? That's not even, because I don't even want to say crossing the line.
Again, just looking for something emotionally from someone else. It doesn't have to be physical.
That's it. It doesn't have to be physical. Because one night stands, you may have went to a club, kissed the person, fall asleep on their same bed. That's still cheating.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, some things are going to be straight to the point. They're going to sound physical and be physical on a physical level. And then some things are going to sound kind of okay, like friendship, but
they're
they have like a
though.
Yeah, they're kind of just like setting it up, like just keep
working you, exactly. And that's even such like a dangerous little path to get on.
Thin line, because we even talked about it ourselves. What about when you're like on a dating website and you're just saying, oh, I'm just looking for friends, and this is just the best way for me to look for friends because Facebook is so overrated. But you know what everybody else wants on this dating site. You know what I mean? So it's just like
everything's a slippery slope. I mean, even with friends, so-called friends, and you start like, oh, hey, how's your day? And it starts off with, oh, hey, how's your day? And then one person has a flirty day, and one person has a bad day, and it's like, oh, I can make you feel better. Why don't you come to lunch with me? Why don't you come over and hang out? And
we kind of talked about that. How far does an opposite sex best friend go? You know what I mean? Because you may know somebody from college.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now you're 30 and you're still talking to this person and almost married. And now you're like, but they're my best friend and I talk to them every day. And they're opposite sex.
Right. So for me, I have my own experience on that. And I can tell you that me and my best friend, like you're my best friend, but I also have another guy best friend. And it's strictly like best friendship.
But you know what?
So I hope it never turns into a problem. But it's straight up like
I think you have to have no sexual desire for them. Does that sound mean?
No.
But you don't. If you have any sexual feelings towards them, any kind of just more than platonical feeling for them, it can turn into something. But again, bad day,
but see,
neediness.
You might not feel sexual tension, but you're not answering for the other person. So what this is the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to deteriorate best friends from being your best friends. But you have to always look at their intention as well.
And if they start something, you have to shut it down. You have to shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down.
If this is what happens, shut it down. My recommendation will be always be honest with your partner because I don't even have a lock on my phone and they can go through it anytime. I would hate to have to explain something. I would rather say, and we do it. I would rather have to say, oh yeah, my ex texted me today. I didn't say much and this is what happened. And versus them finding it and then it'd be a whole another thing. Cheating, you know what I mean? Guys like to say, cheating is cheating at the end of the day. But you know what I mean? Just to kind of close it out, there's one interesting website that I wanted to go ahead and talk about.
Oh, yes, we need to talk about this one.
Really interesting
it's like
because
the forum for everyone
guys,
to go to.
Out there. Ash, check it out. I mean, don't sign up.
Don't sign
check it up.
We're not condoning it.
We're not condoning it, but
Ashley Madison.
Don't say
Right. AshleyMadison.com. All right? That is the site that actually promotes
affairs and cheating and having a discreet place
to go.
It's a dating website
for people who are married.
For people who are married who want to cheat.
And that's the thing is, she's had her own little personal experience with this website.
Go see a counselor.
Personally, I caught my ex, my ex-husband on there. Yeah, my ex-husband on there. And I can tell you, I think it's sleazy. It's sleazy. I think it's horrible. I find everything wrong,
selfish,
possibly wrong with
selfish.
it. But
that's that moment when we just talked about your own.
If you love someone else, go to a therapist. If you have problems, talk it out. Don't go seek another indiviable. It's never going to help anything.
That's the thing. I think what we have to focus on is that we live in different times. We live in times of social media, Facebook, websites like Ashley Madison.
Makes it a lot easiare for people to reach out to you.
People are reconnecting. We live in Florida, and we're not from Florida.
No.
Right.
But we have the opportunity to connect with anyone from anywhere.
And that's
from back home or anywhere in the country.
So that's a good thing. You know, to kind of just close out the show, you know, in regards to what we talked about, at the end of the day, cheating is a no-no. Right. But you know what I mean? If this is something that you feel like you have to do, if this is something that you even feel like you want to move on with your life, know your ultimate feeling. Know why you want to do it.
Educate yourself.
Because educating yourself is important. Sometimes it might just be best. Sometimes it might be just be best to let go.
Yes, honestly, let go. If you really feel like you want to cheat, walk away. You probably don't really love the person.
Guess
you
what?
Move
if
on.
you walk away, you have the chance of being able to come back to that when the time is right.
It's kind of like when you have a job. You know, leave bridges open, don't close them, because you never know when you have to walk.
Don't burn those bridges.
Don't burn them. You
don't
never know when you have
that
to
person.
walk down that bridge again. But you know, my final few words is, again, don't cheat. But if you do, educate yourself about it. Love yourself first, because trust me, at the end of the day, it's going to come back to you and how bad you look as a person. Again, guys, thank you for my host. Thank you for my guest, Echo, for coming on today. We had an amazing time.
Yes, it was a great time.
We had an amazing show. I'm so glad for everyone who called in, who tuned in.
Yes.
Make sure you keep watching us every single
Wednesday. Hump Day.
Hump Day. That's a great thing.
Friends Day. We're on Friends Day.
But every day, Wednesday, 8:30 to 9:30. Trust me, you're never going to want to miss a beat, because we're going to always be ready for you. Right. Thank you for showing up today, and we love you, and we'll see you next week from 8:30 to 9:30.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.